ibiyobyabwenge birica kandi birangiza. Rinda ubuzima bwawe n'ubwa mugenzi wawe, tugira igihugu kizira ibiyobyabwenge. Rubyiruko, nimwe musingi ukomeye w'igihugu. Radio Imanzi, 105.1 FM. Ubujiji ni inzitizi ku iterambere. Buri mwana w'umunyarwanda agomba kwiga. Ubumenyi inzira y'iterambere. Radio Imanzi, 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Thank you for tuning in on a Wednesday, December 14, 2022. This is Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM, broadcasting from Kigali. Hear the news in English, brought to you by Alvin Umngadi. The headlines. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vincent Biruta, and Priti Patel, the former Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, exchanged documents after signing the deal in Kigali. German instructor Dr. Winfried Spanas is training Rwandan athletics coaches during the ongoing training course on advanced skills in middle and long distance running. The bodies of 27 migrants believed to have died of thirst have been found in the Chadian desert, according to the UN Migration Agency. Sudan has signed a $6 billion agreement with a consortium led by the United Arab Emirates, AD Ports Group, and Invictus Investment to develop a new port and economic zone in the Red Sea. We'll be back with news in detail. Thank you. Welcome back. Omar Dyer, the British High Commissioner to Rwanda, said the United Kingdom is optimistic that an ongoing court case of the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership will prove its legality. Dyer said this on Wednesday, December 14th, while briefing both international and local media on the state of the UK-Rwanda relations. The policy under which some of the migrants and asylum seekers illegally entered the UK are to be transferred to Rwanda has been on hold for months after it was challenged by a high court in the UK. The United Kingdom government is confident that this policy is legal and correct and has fought that case in court. He added, "We expect a verdict to come on Monday." Provided that the verdict is in favor of the UK government, Dyer said next steps will move in the direction of implementation of the agreement allowing for the transfer of migrants to Rwanda. The partnership was signed earlier this year, and we have worked with the government of Rwanda to put in place all the frameworks to allow it to be successful and to get off the ground. That included a transfer of a significant amount of development funding to Rwanda, and that was to help those who might relocate in the future, but also to help build economic opportunities for host communities and people. German instructor Dr. Winfried Spanas is in the country where he's training Rwandan athletics coaches during the ongoing training course on advanced skills in middle and long distance running. Organized by Rwanda Athletic Federation RAF, the two-week training course taking place at Bugesera Stadium from December 7th to December 21st targets 16 level 1 athletic coaches in efforts to upgrade their coaching skills to level 2 category. Spanas, a sports scientist and an expert in the track and field. He's often assigned by the German Olympic Sports Federation to teach coaches in different countries various skills in preparing an athlete from a young age, with Rwanda his latest coaching destination. During his 2-week course, the instructor is coaching local coaches on various training methods for athletes and nutrition that is good for athletes, with ample focus on middle and long distance running. Spanner said, "I got all the training packages to become a coach for middle and long distance coaches. There are some good coaches here, but they always need to improve, and I think Rwanda is a country that can introduce middle and long distance runners. With the training, it is easier to train kids and prepare them into future athletes." Rwanda and the European Union have committed to further strengthen their cooperation in sectors like education, agriculture, and energy. Belen Calvo-Uyara, the AU's ambassador to Rwanda, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Edouard Ngirente on Tuesday, December 13th, after which she pledged deeper cooperation in key sectors. Claudine Uwera, the Minister of State in charge of planning at the Ministry of Finance, told the press that Prime Minister Ngirente's discussion with Uyara focused on cooperation in agriculture, education, and energy. She said, "We're working on a program with the European Union which focuses especially on climate-resilient agriculture. It has been noted that we need more investment in agriculture to be able to reach the targeted production. In the energy sector, our cooperation is focused on clean cooking, especially in schools where we need to use sustainable energy sources instead of firewood. We're also looking for ways to increase our power generation. In education, Uwera said Rwanda and the AU are working together to develop TVET education in order to provide skills needed in different sectors. Uyara, who started a job in September replacing Nicola Belomo, said she would continue to deepen the existing relations between the European Union and Rwanda. She continued saying the European Union is working with Rwanda at multilateral level on the continent, but also bilaterally. We're engaging in education, agriculture, and the green area. We're also working together in the health sector as well as in economic and political governance." And she added that the AU will continue to support Rwanda's development agenda through different sectors. Recently, the AU Council approved 20 million euros in assistance to Rwanda's troop development in Mozambique. "We are partners of choice and we work closely at multilateral level addressing global challenges with climate change and security matters." We'll be back shortly with economic news.
Economic News is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The trading session recorded a turnover of 2,073,600 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 3 deals on the fixed income market, and 502,100 Rwandan francs from 2,300 shares traded in 2 deals on the equities market. The equities counters closed as follow: Bank of Kigali at 271 Rwandan francs, Bralirwa at 170 Rwandan francs, I&M Rwanda at 43 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 175 Rwandan francs, Equity at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket Limited at 104 Rwandan francs, and Narondech Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs. The exchange rate today: the United States dollar was buying 1,054 Rwandan francs and was selling 1,074 Rwandan francs. The British pound was buying 1,302 and was selling 1,328 Rwandan francs. The euro was buying 1,119 and was selling 1,142 Rwandan francs. The Kenyan shilling was buying 8.5 Rwandan francs and was selling 8.7 Rwandan francs. The Tanzanian shilling was buying 0.45 and was selling 0.46 Rwandan francs. The Ugandan shilling was buying 0.28 Rwandan francs and was selling 0.29 Rwandan francs. The Burundian francs was buying 0.50 Rwandan francs and was selling 0.51 Rwandan francs. We'll be back shortly with international news.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Sudan has signed a $6 billion agreement with a consortium led by the United Arab Emirates named Dubai AD Ports Group and Invictus Investment to develop a new port and economic zone in the Red Sea. This mammoth project, estimated to cost around $6 billion, will give a powerful boost to the national economy and bring countless benefits to the country as a whole, said the Sudanese Finance Minister Gabriel Ibrahim at the signing ceremony. Ibrahim continued saying the Abu Amam port, which will be built north of the Port Sudan, through which almost all the country's imports and South Sudan oil export pass. The AD Port Group is a majority owned by ADQ, an Abu Dhabi sovereign wealth fund, while Invictus Investment is headed by Osama Dod Abdelatif, the head of the Dal Group and Sudanese largest conglomerate. The signing of the agreement came a week after Sudan's ruling military leadership signed a framework agreement with several civilian groups on December 5th that is supposed to pull the country out of the morass it has been since October 2021, parched led by the army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. According to the reports, the migrants reportedly left Musoro, a crossroads town in west central Chad, 17 months ago in a pickup truck. It is believed the truck got lost in deep desert, broke down due to mechanical issues, and the migrants died of thirst, said the migration organization affiliated with the UN. We're deeply saddened by the most recent tragedy and extend our heartfelt condolences to the migrants' families, said Anne Catherine, the International Organization for Chad, Migration Chad for Chief of Mission. Chad, at the crossroad of North and Central Africa, hosts about 300,000 refugees in 17 refugee camps and 160,000 internally displaced persons in the eastern and southern parts of the country. The forced migration has been caused mainly by conflict and general insecurity in Western Sudan, Eastern Chad, and parts of the Central African Republic. According to the International Organization for Migration, food insecurity, failed harvests, and inconsistent rains have impacted migration patterns. In June, the bodies of 20 Chadians and Libyans were found in the Libyan desert in Kufra, a town located along the Chad-Libya border. Over 55 people have been killed and dozens injured on December 13th by widespread floods and landslides caused by heavy rains in Congo's capital, Kinshasa, and Kinshasa's 24th neighborhoods were affected. In addition to submerging houses, the torrential rains ruined many roads. A landslide in the southern Mont Ngafula district cut off a key supply route linking the capital to the Atlantic Ocean port of Matadi. Prime Minister Jean-Michel Sama-Lukonde said officials were still searching for more bodies. We came to assess their damage, and primary damage we see is human. Lukonde said this on a state television on Tuesday. President Felix Tshisekedi, who's attending the U.S.-Africa summit in Washington, sent his deepest condolences to the bereaved families. Diamersi Maibalizwanga, the mayor of Mongafula, said much of the destruction happened in house built on plots without official permission. They have no documents and they're chased away, but they always come back. And that brings us to the end of today's program. Let's look at the headlines once more. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Vansa Viduta, and Priti Patel, the former Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, exchanged the documents after signing the deal in Kigali. The German instructor, Dr. Winfried, is training Rwandan athletics coaches during the ongoing training courses on advanced skills in middle and long distance running. The bodies of 27 migrants believed to have died of thirst have been found in the Chadian desert, according to the UN Migration Agency. Sudan has signed a $6 billion agreement with a consortium led by the United Arab Emirates, AD Ports Group, and Invictus Investment to develop a new port and economic zone in the Red Sea. Thank you for staying with me. This was Alvin Umngadi on Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM. Stay tuned for more programs. Stay safe, stay warm, and have a wonderful night.